team is really important all the time, period. And this wasn't super obvious to me actually when I first started. I had this idea that we're really investing in kind of products and platforms and business models, and the amalgamation was a company that was led by a team. But the leadership and the team and the culture is really that glue that sticks everything together. These are very high stakes, long hours, high stress type of situations, and so you have to trust that the team that's working together, leading the whole company, likes one another, is working well as a cohesive unit. I think there are some funds that are going a little bit earlier, some funds that are going a little bit later, and also even the definitions of what rounds mean, I think, has gotten a little bit confusing. The interesting things about this industry that there's always going to be some level of entropy, sort of randomness to the whole thing that's really hard to predict. How you value companies might be based on certain multiples, certain valuation metrics, but even those are derivatives of how the overall economy is doing. Things have shifted over the last year. There were relatively high valuations that were being requested, and there are a lot of folks that maybe had raised at a high valuation the prior round were looking for a flat round or an up round. And with the macroeconomy changing as fast as it did, I think it really slowed down the pace of fundraising. Many folks learned very quickly that the valuations that they were anchoring on likely wouldn't be possible in future rounds. And that's very challenging for all the companies that were in that type of spot, as well as the investors that were previously in those companies. But I think what it did in a relatively short period of time is it brought the focus for a lot of companies to really optimizing what their runway is. A couple of years ago, people were growing at all costs, right? So you were growing for the sake of growing, even if it wasn't super profitable. There would be another round coming up. Cash management wasn't as important. And I think now there's been a lot larger focus, laser focused, ensuring that you're managing your runway. Do you have enough to get to the next round? Who will that next round be? Do you have insiders that are accounting for that? And so I think very quickly we saw this switch from growth at all costs to visibility to profitability. For doctors that are looking to enter VC, I think there are probably two big things I'd highlight as being careful about. One is we take the Hippocratic oath. We're always thinking about kind of impact on patient, and that is always extremely important. But I think doctors can have, myself included, can have a tendency to sometimes over-index on the technology more than how the business will survive, how the product will get distributed, how payers might react to it. There are so many layers of a company and how it becomes successful. And one lesson I learned early on, to have the impact on patients, you really need to check many boxes. Second thing is, I'd urge folks that are trying to get into venture or are in venture to really get out of your comfort zone and do the things that don't come naturally to you. Because it is really easy to provide clinical input and that be your thing, but I found a lot of enjoyment and a lot of value in all the things that have felt very hard and very uncomfortable at the beginning.
Luck in personal life, luck in professional life, but just investing. We talk about this idea of de-risking. How much does luck play into investing?
It would be crazy to say that luck doesn't play a role at all, because when I think about all the things that have to go right for a company to really make it, the team working well together, the product market fit being on point, having capital ready at the right time, having a market that's large enough, but competitors that aren't, there's so many different things that have to work out. So I would be lying if I said that after you make an investment, there's no luck involved. You never stop learning. For a lot of physicians, lifelong learning is just a part of your DNA. You're going to conferences, you're reading journals, and sometimes it can be scary to do something that forces you to be on this sort of stagnant path. And I'd say that VC is anything but stagnant. The economy is changing, technology is changing, everything is always changing. And so if you're looking to constantly challenge yourself and looking to meet awesome and inspirational people, this couldn't be a better career.